Hey everybody, welcome back. So in this section now, we're going to record our acoustic guitar to this track here. So I've already set up our M7 microphone on a mic stand here, and I want to give you a couple of tips on how you can record an acoustic guitar with this M7 microphone to get kind of the best results. So now the thing about acoustic guitar is all the tone, unlike an electric guitar which comes from the pickups, all the tone comes from the body of the guitar. So the quality of your acoustic guitar is going to make a significant difference on how it's going to sound when it's recorded. So some of this stuff is experimentation. Now this happens to be a Taylor 615 guitar, really well-made guitar, sounds really great. It's about 10 years old, so the wood is aged a bit, so it has a lot more of a warm sound, and your guitar may sound similar or different from this, but it doesn't really matter. It's experimentation. Now as far as the mic placement of the M7 microphone here, I'm running it probably about 12, maybe 15 inches away from the guitar itself, from where I'm seated, and I have it pointed, the front of the microphone, the capsule of the microphone is pointed at about a 45-degree angle, and it's kind of pointed right where the body, the neck actually kind of meets the end of the neck, where kind of the beginning of the sound hole here. And so with this guitar, what I experimented with in the past is that if you point it directly at the sound hole or more towards the bridge, it gets a little bit boomy. This guitar, it's a jumbo style body, so it gets a little bit boomy, a little bit too bass heavy. And if you point it too far towards the neck, some people will point it more like this towards the 12th fret, which is okay as well, but then it tends to sound a little bit thin. So a good rule of thumb is to kind of maybe point it anywhere from maybe the 15th fret up to the end of the neck, right before the sound hole. And again, anywhere from about 12 to 18 inches away, and you can experiment with the distance as well. Keep in mind that the closer the guitar is to the sound hole, the more boomy it's going to sound and the more upfront it's going to sound, where it maybe sounds a little unnatural, as opposed to if you back the microphone off a little bit and you let the guitar kind of breathe, it sounds a little bit more natural, like you were standing in the room while someone was playing the guitar, which is what you kind of want. So what I would suggest you do is you want to get your M7 on a mic stand, and you want to record a few different sections of music, and you want to move that microphone around to try to see where it sounds best for you. Now, if you have an acoustic electric, which this is, you could plug a 1/4-inch cable, guitar cable, directly into here, right into your audio box USB, but I tend to find that that really sounds kind of thin, and unless you have a really high-end acoustic with a really good preamp section, that's not always the best thing to do, at least in my opinion, but you can try it. You can also mic up the guitar with your M7 microphone, and then you can also, on channel 1, and then on channel 2, you can actually plug in the guitar as well, and you can have 2 tracks, and you can kind of blend them together. There's all kinds of possibilities. So what I urge you to do is take some time with the acoustic guitar, find out what works good for your environment, for your particular guitar, and where this mic is going to be placed is going to be slightly different than what you see here. But once again, if you point the front of the microphone somewhere between maybe the 15th fret and the end of the neck, kind of a 45-degree angle, you're in a good starting point, and then you can tweak it from there. So now I've already gone ahead because I'm kind of sitting in a very strategic position, and when you're playing, you don't want to be shifting around too much from left to right. You want to kind of try to stay steady and let the microphone pick up a consistent area of the guitar during your performance. But I've already gone ahead and I've added my acoustic guitar track. You can see in Studio One here, I've added my acoustic guitar track. We are plugged in to channel 1 on the audio box USB, and you can see my voice being picked up from the microphone. Now also keep in mind that with this microphone, you have to press in the 48-volt phantom power switch on the front of the audio box USB, and it'll light up red when you do that. This is a large diaphragm condenser microphone, and those always require 48 volts, and that's why PreSonus supplied it to you on the audio box USB, which is great. So make sure you plug that in, or make sure you turn that on, I should say, and you'll see the input. Now, just like in the last couple of sections, I've already gone ahead and I've kind of set my input levels, strumming the guitar to make sure we're somewhere around the -12 dB or so. So I go ahead and do that. If you forgot how to do that, or you haven't seen the last 2 sections, go watch the Bates recording section and the electric guitar recording section, and I show you step by step exactly how to do that. So go check that out. So you want to make sure you set your levels about a -12 dB. We added our track here. We called it acoustic guitar in this kind of orange color here. We've record enabled our track, and we've turned on our monitor button so we could hear our performance in our headphones. And now we're going to go ahead and we're just going to record this acoustic guitar track to this song, and then we'll kind of blend it together. So we'll put our headphones on here. Again, make sure that the playhead is all the way back to the beginning of the song. Again, you can use the transport at the bottom of Studio One, or you can just hit your comma key, and the comma key will do that for you. And here we go. So let's go ahead and let's hit record. Now that we've record enabled our track, and we should be able to record this acoustic guitar. Let's check it out. And there's our drum fill, and that is our acoustic guitar. So go ahead now, listen back to your performances up to this point. You can blend the acoustic guitar in with the rest of your tracks and get it sounding good. And when you come back for the next section, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a little MIDI keyboard, like a little maybe Hammond organ or something to this song here. And I'm going to show you how to hook up a MIDI controller. So come on back for the next section.